Previously on Kimba TV. If it comes back down to a settlement, I think that's a long. We're gonna have a gap. Yeah, so I think I'll try to long settlement if it does like a smaller time frame trident. Those are gonna get clean. So like something like this would be nice. Clean that. If you're not burping, you're not juicing. Did y'all take any of those trade setups that was shared last week? Bugatti! The only way traditional markets would be bullish if it doesn't lose the open. And then when you look at the Bitcoin, I was about to say the same thing, and it's right on RTH. I still would like a little bit lower. I guess if it pumps, then we might be looking for a short, but then if it gets back into value, it's full rotation long. So, you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna let us up. Yeah, so basically my objective for the next hour or two is going to be, like everybody sees where the exo stuff is, right? Like previous day, value area low, value area high. Like, there's going to be a certain point where if you reclaim a level, I don't know where yet, that would be my objective, but there's going to be a point where there's like an inflection point where either it's a good short for lower, or if you reclaim it, then we're going to be aiming for the other side of value. So I'm going to try to find out where that inflection point might be. I'm already in a couple of altcoin longs, like the trade setup stuff that I gave out, the trade setups that I shared in Discord last week. Some I took, some I didn't, just because I had to juggle so many things this morning. But no Bitcoin position yet, so... Never give up says, yup, ADA and APT. Yeah, did you like that? Never give up. Never give up. When did I post those in the Discord? 4 days ago. Yeah. What do you think about the preparation? Yeah. So everything at this point was stop loss and profit, so we can't lose. But we got to be careful. I just don't want Bitcoin to get slapped at like 102 or 103 again. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so the Sol trade that we talked about and I gave out last week was a level of interest for Sol comes in at the grouped POCs with Fib GP around 205, 215. So I don't think it went there, but 205 to 215. Yeah, that's the area that we were looking at for Sol. This is kind of like why I'm a little bit... I would have liked lower for Biddy. I would have liked lower for Biddy, and I would have liked lower for a lot of some of these. But, yeah, nothing we can really do. I still have my 170 long, and I've been telling you guys where I've been shaving. So we shaved a little bit here. And this is all live on stream, by the way. Shaved a little bit there, shaved a little bit there. Yeah, and everybody know what the TP target is for Sol? And we'll just be shaving like every little bit, but the majority of the TP is going to be around what? 480, 500, right? Tushar says, why market fell today? Just because of math. And you could even say like you had a little bit of bearish news over the weekend, right? Like tariffs and just S&P and NASDAQ really took a shit. But watch the Friday highlights. We were ready for a dump. Yeah, so we were prepared. No surprises, right, Lions? Yeah, so like, for example, if it gets back above value low, then it's gonna rotate all the way back up to value area high, which would end any discussion about anything being bearish. And if anything, we're just gonna go clean the highs. And then what we need to be, what I would be thinking about is, dude, we're gonna swing fail the high. FOMC's, there's gonna be rate cuts. Motherfuckers is gonna get got. And we're gonna swing fail the high. And I need to think about a big short from 113, 115. And that narrative comes back into play again. So whatever I'm gonna be doing yesterday, today, tomorrow, it's all for really FOMC, like we said last week. So I'm not gonna really get got today. Like it doesn't surprise me that it's bouncing a little bit from a 97.5. Okay, I'm trying to watch and maybe nerd out to see if there's a 102 area. I mean, we might have missed it. I don't know. I'm really just trying to look at the order flow. I'm getting caught up on my work emails, and I'm looking at S&P order flow as well. But I need to try to identify a level where I can say if we start to spend time above it, then we've just reclaimed value and we're gonna rotate to value area high. Or if we get rejected and we make lower low structure from there on smaller time frame, then I need to be able to say, okay, that was just a bearish retest and we're gonna go lower. 94 would be amazing in my opinion. We've talked about the 96, 97 zone for quite some time. Alrighty. And there's a couple of altcoins that I feel like haven't really gotten to like the level that I would want. Some of them already went to the level that I want. Some of them have not yet. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. There's probably like maybe 5. I gotta check if KCEX actually filled me on ADA, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 positions on altcoins, and most of them are duplicate because they're across multiple. So stop loss and profit, nice little scalp long. But yeah, lower could be coming in. So we'll watch throughout the day exactly what levels can get reclaimed, where we build value. Keep an eye on S&P and do some next level preparation and planning. Boogamma! You see this? So let's just, I think I have like another hour and a half to really figure out, like, do I need to think about a short or, but what do you think about this? Chat? You drew that line right now! No, we've had these levels. Pixel, why does it pixel your shit all the time? So I'm just kind of looking at this and like trying to put together my plan for FOMC on Wednesday. So I have plenty of time. I would still like 96 or 94 maybe for a long, but like I said in the beginning of the morning, it's just identifying a level where, if we're below it, it's bearish. And if we're above it, then it's, full rotate time, something like this. So daily open, value area low, value area high. And this is like previous day shit. You've got like TPO value that it could full rotate to. So yeah, it's basically for me, if it goes back above and we get a quick little brrr, then I'm starting to think that we're gonna swing that high up there at 113, 115, and maybe we're gonna get FOMC rate cuts. Everybody is gonna get bullish. markets pump, SFP, and I'm going to probably short it. Does that make sense? So if we're lower and we get rate cuts, then, you know, it would be nice to get like a scam dump. I get filled on a long, right? Everybody gets stopped out. Wait, I thought rate cuts were bullish type of shit, you know? If we claim value today, then I'm going to be thinking on Wednesday, if we do get rate cuts, it's going to be a scam pump. Top longers get trapped. And then we go down to like 85. Yeah. So first things first, let's see, you know, this area, I don't know if you were here in the morning when I like casually drew a line, but this zone is kind of like a little bit resistancy. And as you guys saw, it's RTH gap, like Coinbase is even pixel perfect, you know? So let's see what S&P does on the 5-minute. Does it hold that Boo Gamma? Let's see what Coinbase Spot does on the 5-minute. Does it hold structure and, you know, golden pocket? And then if it starts to make a lower low and it starts to change structure, you know, 5-minute, 30-minute, and then does CME lose the RTH gap, then we're probably going to go lower. Let's get nasty. Let's go. Alpeasy says, if you're not in a short, how would you get into one? Probably VWAP and RTH bearish retest, something like this. Yeah, but I think going back up there would be bullish, so I wouldn't really short that. I might be trying to see if it can turn it into support. And I would try to front run getting back into value area low. Hopefully it just nukes. Because if that really is an inflection point, it's going to make a lower low. So let me see the lower low first. But at that point, there is no short because we're looking for longs down there, I think. Yeah, but I think it's a little too late if the short really is going to work, because any sort of retest would be resulting in a higher low, higher high, golden pocket holding type of structure. So I would tell your friend, I don't know if you want to be looking to get into a short. I would get stopped out in profit, and I wouldn't I wouldn't be trying to like not get stopped out. Yeah, hopefully it just did the inflection and we're gonna go clean those lows and then we can get into a long LPZ. Is your friend thinking about taking a long at 96.1, or is he super bearish and he wants like lower, like 82, 88 type of shit? There's gonna be some bears that think this could go to like 72, which would be crazy. But that's possible, I guess. But yeah, for me, 95, 97.5, 96.1, all those levels in front would be areas that I would be looking at on the lower side. And 76, sure, yeah, like on the higher time frame shit, you know? Like, I think it would be cooler if we did something like dink, like some golden pocket shit, and then dink, golden pocket shit, you know, and then like that. Like that. And then like this. Yeah. Then I think maybe like 85 and lower is in play. Yeah, but I'm a fucking stickler for that 105, 106, you know? Remember the Christmas TA? Like that was also the pivot point to go down towards like 85. So most of the time, people are right about the direction. It's just the timing that, you know, they're wrong about, right? What's S&P doing? Let's just watch S&P for a little bit. Let's go! Any questions? So, real quick recap, ladies and gentlemen. Would like to see a little bit lower still for the long, okay? But stay safe. The math is the math. We talked a little bit about ET. How many of you guys shorted last night when the ETH opened with a gap to the upside, meaning that it was a bearish gap? Probably not as easy to play on this Macaulay gap if there is one, but still valid. If you want to play it. Because the invalidation would still be the same for me anyways. It would be, does the 30-minute dip and dip, dip the tip, or does it spend more time? And you can see where the candle opens, so you know like where it needs to, finish the body close above and below. I think everybody can kind of see the failed auction right here, right? So shout outs to the RTH gap. We've been looking at this for quite some time. We also talked about the VWAP and RTH gap. So there's a couple of things that you might be able to front run. That would be the natural structure that you would want to see on follow through. Obviously, we talked about this a while ago about front running this. All right. So like any sort of 0.5 or 382 might kind of be like a little, interesting play, but depending on how aggressive or how patient you want to be and ultimately what your subconscious bias is, whether you're bearish or bullish, these are the levels that basically you want to think about. And then structure change would be the invalidation. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Let me see what this looks like. This never lost daily open, so good for yes. So once you have broken the 382, you have already lost, 40% of your max unrealized. So starting to shave behind 382 is always a good place to start, if not closing the whole thing. Because once you get above 382, the probability of going here is very, very high. Okay, this is where the bears can maintain their edge. Once it goes up here, the bearish edge is neutralized. So it's either here or here, and you'll see it yourself. All right, but if you wanted to maximize profits, that's why a lot of times our rule of thumb is just close there or start shaving there, because you have to make a decision on here or here. Yeah, so no worries, but it's all about just improving. Yeah, because some people will like it's just about being consistent. All right. But isn't it better to make that awareness and call today and be aware of it for Wednesday? Paul says, with a golden pocket turned into support, what would be your invalidation stop loss place 0.5? I would probably do it a little bit lower than 0.5. So because the concept is the ones that you really can't fuck around with time is VWAP, because VWAP is volume weighted average price. So the longer that you spend, you risk spending more volume, and so you're gonna change the possibility of it being support or resistance. And so there's gonna be a lot of people that might try to long VWAP turning into support. And so what that means is you may not actually have a lot of buying power at the golden pocket. So you have to be aware of probably 382 and the naked point of control and the single print right below the VWAP. All right, Paul, that's the way that I would look at it. Some people are going to look at VWAP getting turned into support as bullish. Some people are going to consider the fact that we're back in RTH gap after losing it with a failed auction structure now as bullish. So I am Blendar says, is it late for long? No, but it's also not too late to rewind, because I literally told you how I would play it. But it's already been discussed and planned. I was not here, sorry. That's okay. Yeah, it's not too late. But what I would probably tell you, Blendar, is that this is something that I've done every single time when structure looks like this. So I want you to really start listening and focusing to what I'm saying, because you should already know how I would play it. Did you know that a bunch of lions already knew exactly how I would play it? Let's go! You Gucci, my Gucci! But it's all there, brother. To the pixel, I explained. And then like even Paul was asking where the stop loss would be just now, like 20 seconds ago. So I'll be poking my head in and out. It's a shorter stream because I'm going to continue to work on all these other things that I have for you guys that I want to get completed by FOMC. But everything's been planned and prepared. Yeah, and even things like it should have made a lower low. So for it to hold the 7.5 and blast through the 0.5 means what? It's bullish. So that's why I would think about taking that golden pocket, getting into support, 7.5 into support. I'm basically front running the failed auction. Now, if it swing fails up here and it fails the failed auction, then all bets are off, right? So you got to be able to kind of read the data and you know, adjust accordingly and have preparations and plans. I was already planning for how I would long this if this broke through the 0.5. And I also know what I would do if a swing fails and it heads back down one more time again. All right. Whatever I decide to do, it's going to be in the narrative for FOMC Wednesday. So I'm trying to have a position going into Wednesday. So worst case scenario, I get stopped out and profit on Wednesday. Sounds good. And we kind of talked about like those, you know, debates, or if the initial move is false, or if it starts to reverse midday, right? Because the numbers come out midday. We're going to be ready. We're not going to get got. Alrighty. Paul says, what would be your data making you okay the golden pocket into support? Price action probably, and open interest. Yeah, Paul, and time. And really structure, like once it gets back there, it still has to maintain higher high and higher low. Yeah, so the structure, like on the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, whatever smaller time frame that you're best at looking at. Yeah, on the smaller time frame, you would also see like structure change. Yeah, you'll see it when we like start scalping and shit, I bet. Yeah. But technically, it would probably, so dink, pixel perfect 7.5, dink, pixel perfect 7.5, 7.86 zone. So probably like, it'll look something like that, Paul. And then like that is where you want to try to get in. That bullish retest on the smaller time frame, you know, where it was previous resistance type of shit. And if it does happen, I hope you see it for yourself. Yeah, and it could be other structure on smaller time frame, but usually on the 886 to 618, if you zoom in, it's usually a trident. So if anything, Paul, just whenever you see a 7.5 or 0.5 or an 886 or a 618, go to the 1 minute, 3 minute after the fact. You don't have to bet it, but after the fact, take a look and see for yourself what kind of structures you start to see. It's usually a trident. If you're not burping, you're not juicing. Let's go. Let's go. All right. You guys all good? I'm going to wrap it up when the markets close. Wednesday, we will be doing long streams. Yeah, Wednesday FOMC we'll be doing long stream, but tomorrow is probably a little bit shorter stream too, just like today. All right, y'all. Any last minute questions, ladies and gentlemen? Macaulay, ES, CME gap, ETH, RTH closed like this, y'all. There you go. Let me delete this. Let me clean this too.
I'm juicing.
So RTH is around 101,675. All right, like basically right here. So if this goes, I mean, damn, that would be a nice bearish retest. Yeah, and do you guys see like what I'm talking about in terms of like the 105, 106 potential short that we talked about earlier in the day? Yeah, but it depends on when it does it. Depends on when it does it. All right, maybe a little ETH overnight Sunday gap clean before we go. It could start to get really interesting. That's what I mean is like the everyday bing bong ding dong is whatever, but the closer that we get to FOMC Wednesday, I think like the higher that we get, okay, am I thinking about a short? The lower that we get, okay, I'm thinking about a long type of shit, you know? And it's not about being in a long or short. Bulls, bears, we're all lions. It's about having good risk management. Nobody can really predict the future. You don't never gonna know if it's gonna go up or down. So you gotta look at the edge. You gotta adjust constantly to the data. Do your best. Looking forward to another day of improvement, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow. And of course, we're one day closer to FOMC. Are we gonna get the narrative that we want? JPZ, come on. All right, Sato, what are you going to do to Jerome Powell if he doesn't cut rates? Oh,